How many of you are like, but where do I start? First, you need to pick what is your niche or your topic. So if you already know your niche or your topic, in the comments, I would love for you guys to tell us what your niche or your topic is. We want to reach ultimately all the people in our niche, but we're not going to start there. If we try to reach everyone, what do we actually end up reaching? No one. So what do we need to do to start? We want to ultimately reach just our perfect people at the beginning. And Dean Graziosi calls this your dot. There are, I think there's 7.4 billion people in the world. And of the 7.4 billion people, 5.9 of them are adults. So 5.9 of them can be targeted on social media, right? But do you really need to reach all 5.9 billion people? In your niche, if your niche is pets, do you need to reach every pet owner, or do you just even need for your business to be successful to reach 1,000 of them or 50,000 of them? We don't need the whole niche. We just need our dot of our perfect people, the people who love us dearly and follow us. Now, what do we need? There's 3 rules I have in order to find your perfect people. Rule number 1, it has to be a niche with 1 million people. That's my rule for going into a niche. There are 1 million people in sewing, so I will target sewing. To be honest, there's 1 million people who are in quilting. That's a subsection of sewing. So I can go down to quilting. I can probably go down to quilting small, like coasters. I could probably even go down to 1 million people make small quilts. But I probably don't want to do quilting hairbands, right? Or quilting only necklaces, because I bet that's a really, really small segment of people who are passionate about quilting scrunchies. I'm sure there's someone out there that's passionate about quilting scrunchies, but that's not what we're going to focus on to start with, right? We're going to go a little bit bigger to quilting if our niche is sewing. So we want to find the niche where there's 1 million people. Then, and typically, guys, if it's huge, like it's bigger than 1 million, then you're going to want to shrink it down a little bit so that you're closer to the 1 million mark. Then the next thing is you need to have a path to $1 million. $1 million. One of my niches is the DIY space. We help people like repair their vacuums when they get broken, fix their garbage disposal, learn what to do with leftover taco meat. Believe it or not, we had to fight a little hard to find things that we could sell for over $1 million of. Now, do I want a full $1 million out of that? No. I want to get my little dot of that money, right? If I can picture a way that anyone can make $1 million off that audience, then I know I could make $100,000 off that. That's half, a tenth of what that is. I could make $200,000 off of that. So I want to find a way to get just my dot off of that audience. So start with a path that you can picture $1 million in sales from it. Because if you can picture a way to get to 1 million, you can definitely make an income off of it. Okay, the next rule I have, this is a fun one. Building an audience is not for the faint of heart. It's not easy, and it's a lot of work. You're going to have to show up when you're bored. You're going to have to show up when you're tired. You're going to have to show up when you're done talking about this. You're going to have to show up and still love on your people. It should be something you want to talk about for more than 1 million minutes. My first audience was about playing with kids. Why? Because all I had was kids, and I was able to talk about kids for 1 million minutes. I had done my work. I've been talking about kids for 1 million minutes. So if I can talk about kids without my kids, without getting any pay, I could continue to grow this until I was able to make money from it. So I want you to have something that you can talk about for 1 million minutes. If your business matches these, you're able to move on to the next level. You've got each of these. You're like, yes, girl, I have 1 million people. I can picture 1 million people in that niche. Then I've met the mark. I can picture a way to get $1 million. Not necessarily, I'm not promising you're going to make $1 million, but you can get a sliver of that audience because you have the piece. Okay, so yes, I can find a way for $1 million. And the next one is I can spend 1 million minutes on it. If you are, then you're able to reach your piece of the pie. We've got our niche. Now we need to figure out where our people are.